Meeting called to order. Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving along, I want to make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of October 3rd, 2019, but with a little edit, because we wrote Anna's name. We put her in as, we put Lucia's last name on Anna's name, so we're going to redo them with the correct name. So I'm making a motion to accept them with the new edit. Okay. Any objections? No? Motion passes. Okay. Next, presentation. We don't have any. We're going to move on to the public comment section. If there's anybody in the audience that would like to make a comment, you're welcome to come here. Please state your name and address, and each person gets 4 minutes to speak.
Hello, my name is Stephanie. Sorry. Hello, I'm super loud. Hello, my name is Stephanie Rodriguez. I live at 184 Chester Ave in Chelsea, Mass. And I'm the site coordinator for the Reach After School program. I have worked with youth in the city of Chelsea for over 15 years. I grew up in Chelsea and I graduated from Chelsea High School. My experience growing up here, working here, has led me to believe that our youth are at risk of dropping out, getting involved with street crimes or gangs. Living here and raising my children here makes me proud, but it also alarms me. Our youth need a secondary family, a family that is there through extended hours while most parents are working. They need a group of individuals that are rooting for them, providing some social emotional support, resources, and a solid relationship that supports academic success during and after graduation. Tonight, I am here to support the student in my program and to give my appreciation to everybody that showed up today in support of the Reach After School program. Hola, soy la coordinadora del programa de Reach en Chelsea. Yo he trabajado con los jóvenes en Chelsea por más de 15 años. Crecí en Chelsea y me gradué de la Chelsea High School. Mis experiencias al crearme aquí y trabajar aquí me llevan a creer que nuestros jóvenes corren el riesgo de abandonar la escuela, involucrarse en crímenes callejeras o hasta con pandillas. Vivir aquí y crear a mis hijos aquí me enorgullece, pero también me alarma. Nuestros jóvenes necesitan una familia secundaria, una familia que esté ahí durante horas extendidas mientras la mayoría de los padres trabajan. Necesitan un grupo de personas que los apoyen, que les brinden apoyo emocional, les dé recursos y le ofrezcan relaciones sólidas que respaldan el éxito académico durante y después de su graduación. Esta noche estoy aquí para apoyar a los estudiantes en mi programa y agradecer a todos los que apoyan el programa de Reach. Thank you y gracias.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Kathleen Bray. My local address is 15 Highland Park Ave, Roxbury, Mass. It's hard to see you like standing here. All right. Stephanie and I are here to support the youth tonight, so we're obviously making our comments brief. The youth are really the ones who are going to speak up for the REACH program. We're here to advocate for the staff and their families. We congratulate you on being elected to the school committee, for those of you who have been recently elected. And we're really glad that the school committee reflects the diversity of the Chelsea Public Schools. All of us are here to ask you to become an advocate for the Chelsea REACH program, to continue instead of being phased out. A key first step to supporting REACH tonight would be to lift the current cap on enrollment that is being imposed by the superintendent. Currently, the REACH program is being asked to stay at 40 students because there's a phase-out plan going on, and we would like to ask the school committee to propose to temporarily lift that cap while we can look into the future of REACH. I'm just here to say 3 main points. Number one, REACH is currently a fully funded program. We are not here to ask for funding. We do not currently need funding. The REACH has a budget to support more than 40 students. We think at this point with our staffing, we could serve about 65 students. And more importantly than that, our funders do require us to reach a certain amount of students each year. We have 21st Century Community Learning Center funding, and 50 is usually the minimum, and we've always had 75 to 100 students every year. So the current cap is going to put our future funding in jeopardy. These decisions, as well as not allowing the program to fill key staffing positions left open and reducing staff hours and pay rates, are putting REACH's future in jeopardy. This is why we are all here. If the program continues to phase out and prompt action isn't taken, REACH's current funding and staff will be lost. There will be no more REACH to save in June. Second, REACH was created by Chelsea, for Chelsea. REACH is not citizen schools. Leaders from every nonprofit organization in the community, Gladys Vega, Juan Vega, people from Centro Latino, Roca, the superintendent, from every agency came together to address the severe lack of youth programming and concern for youth in the city. Jasenia Alfaro and the Chelsea Collaborative led a social capital campaign where we did, over 1,000 conversations one-on-one with Chelsea residents and thousands of surveys. And the number one concern of residents was the youth in the city of Chelsea, los jóvenes de Chelsea. I'm 100% certain if we redid all of those conversations, do you want to do it again, Jesse? The same concern would be in our city. The youth are still at risk in Chelsea and all cities across America, as we have seen today, again, and they need safe places to go after school when youth violence is highest. They also need people like Stephanie in their life that they can come to when something is going wrong. They need a place to go every day, not just one day a week for tutoring, not just 2 days a week, every day after school. And the third thing is REACH is the largest year-round after-school program serving middle and high school students in the city of Chelsea. Through our partnership with DPH, REACH provides jobs to 10 to 15 youth a year. It's one of the largest youth employers in the city of Chelsea. We have provided a long list of outcomes. We've had external evaluations. I was responsible for the evaluation of the REACH program. We have excellent outcomes. We're happy to provide any data people would like on the youth of REACH. 90% of youth who came to REACH, even for 1 year, graduated Chelsea High. Most REACH youth attend the program for 6 years. Can I have one more minute? One paragraph?
30 more
Okay.
seconds, I'll agree.
More importantly than any data or statistics, the youth and their mentors are here to tell you why the program's important to them. These stories are highlighted in a video the REACH movie crew made last year with Stephanie, so we encourage you to watch that. REACH is a family. The environment and culture that has been created over the past 10 years is where supportive and peer and mentoring relationships can take place. I want you to hear their stories and remember, it's far harder to start a new program from nothing than to continue and reimagine something that's already working and has an amazing Chelsea hero, Stephanie Rodriguez, leading the program. I encourage you all to contact Stephanie, schedule a time to visit REACH to speak with the youth and learn more about the program. And as I said earlier, by June, it will likely be too late. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Christine Swissdro. I live at 99 Clark Avenue in Chelsea. And first, I would like to offer a statement from Linda Alioto Robinson, who can't be here tonight. She says, I wish I was able to be at the meeting in person, but unfortunately I am ill and could not make it. I did not want my absence to be interpreted as a lack of support for REACH, the staff, or the students. As the former director of REACH for 11 years, I have witnessed how hundreds of students have benefited from attending the program. Beyond student and staff testimonials, we have years' worth of data proving that the program is successful. REACH students graduate from Chelsea High School, go on to higher education, and in many cases, after college, return to the program as staff. REACH is completely grant-funded and also holds an annual fundraising event to support student activities. We do not ask nor receive funding from the school department. Thank you for your attention. Linda Alioto Robinson. On a personal note, I'm the Program Oversight Committee Chair for the Chelsea REACH program. I've been on the POC for 10 years, and the students will speak for themselves, but year after year after year, through all the TDC evaluations that Kat mentioned, as well as the graduation dinners and every POC meeting where we hear from students about the change that Chelsea REACH has made in their lives, I would really urge you to consider the loss to the community if this program doesn't continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Brian Nunez, and I live at 3037 Washington Street in Roxbury, Mass. I am currently a graduation coach for the REACH After School program, and I also work for the Mass Hire Metro North Workforce Board as a program manager. I thought long and hard about what I was gonna say, and I could have come to you guys with data about what the region looks like from the Workforce Board's perspectives, what are some of the barriers, but I had a revelation this morning, and it was a personal one, very much like a lot of the faces that I see here today who are REACH participants. I was the recipient of an after-school community organizing type of program in the city of Boston called Hyatt Square Task Force. And I think back to what that meant to me and some of the struggles that I endured during that time of my life. And one of the most vulnerable moments for me was when I was in my bathroom contemplating suicide. There was a lot of uncertainty about who I was, about whether or not I mattered. And the Hyatt Square Task Force really allowed me to embrace myself fully. And reverting back to that revelation that I had this morning, it was a very candid reminder that we still live in a very, very ugly world. I was at the gym and I was called a faggot. I was harassed for my sexuality. And I look to these youth over here, and it goes beyond education. It goes beyond anything a textbook can teach you. It's about making sure that they have the foundation to transform themselves as well as their peers, their community. I want to make sure that everything I do in my life is impacting the next generation. And some of the most difficult challenges that our society faces has directly to do with some of the barriers that these youths are facing. And those barriers are addressed and softened through the REACH program. I've seen that firsthand. I've gotten to know a lot of these youth very personally. I've heard stories very similar to mine. And so I want to leave you today with that in mind and have you take into account that taking away a program that provides a sort of foundation that it does for these youth doesn't simply just get erased or have no effect. It has long-term effects on the lives of these individuals, far beyond their grades, far beyond, it could save a life at the end of the day. And so I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Christopher Mena, and I live at 113 Spencer Avenue. And today I wanted to start off by saying if it wasn't for the REACH program and Stephanie Rodriguez, who is right behind me, I wouldn't be the person who I am today. The confidence that I have and the way that I act now, I will forever be grateful for the REACH program because I was a person who didn't stand up for myself and who didn't know how to handle certain situations. And with this program, it gave me a whole different outlook on life. It's made me realize what I want to do, what I want to go to school for, and what I plan to do with my future and my career. I plan to go to Bunker Hill and get my associates in business administration. I plan to open a business selling sunglasses, and I plan to make myself that next person. And I want to be proud to say that I'm from Chelsea. And without this program, I wouldn't have the thoughts, and I wouldn't have thought of half of the things that I've done. And I plan to do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Christopher.
Good evening. My name is Alma Calderon. I live at 82 Linwood Street in Lynn, Massachusetts, but I was born and raised in the city of Chelsea. My family was been based in the city of Chelsea. I've gone to rallies and community services and events with my mother, who served the community of Chelsea my entire life through Centro Latino, the Chelsea Collaborative, now in Chelsea Housing. And I am a strong believer and proud to be from the city of Chelsea. Me and my siblings attended Chelsea schools. Unfortunately, my siblings had a different ending to their story. They did become statistics and dropped out of high school in senior and junior years, and thankfully they did later get their GEDs and their diploma online. And when I went to Chelsea High School that freshman year and started going not the right way, my mom got scared. And so I finished my high school years at Northeast Vocational School in Wakefield. But it makes me think maybe things could have been different if there was a program like REACH when I was in high school. And I strongly believe that it could have made the biggest difference in my life and the life of my siblings. And I know firsthand, I was a group leader in the program, the REACH program, for 6 years. I started off as a 9th grade group leader for the girls. And we did college tours and college fairs, and I was the person that they put down for their job applications. And even now, when they're married and have children, these girls still write me down as their recommendations. The bonds that we form at REACH, till this day, there's kids here that I used to work with that know that if they ever needed anything, I'm just a phone call away. And REACH is just more than a place where you hang out, and more than just a basketball court, more than just hanging out. We baked cookies that were terrible, but they strengthened their math skills. And we watched stupid Halloween movies and spoke about how we can make our own movie clip for projects. I mean, we did things that they didn't think that they could, and now believe that they are able to do and can help others do. I'm a strong advocate for this program. I believe in the future of these children, and REACH goes a long way to putting them towards the right direction in life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lil Mario Williams Graham. I live at 51 Garrish Ave, and I've been in REACH since freshman year. I'm a junior at Chelsea High School, and what REACH has done for me is help me focus on my grades more and help me be more social, have more of a personality. Like, it's done a lot for me, and I want to graduate knowing that I have REACH behind me and that it's still going to be strong when I'm gone. I want my sister to go to REACH so she can experience all the things I have, getting new friends, being able to publicly speak like this. And what me and my Youth Advisory Council peers did was that we have collected over 300 signatures from people that support the REACH After School program, and among those signatures we have students, social workers, all COA staff, parents, teachers, the city council, and I would like to enter our petition into the record along with our newsletter at this time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Hassan. I live on Clinton Court, and I started REACH in 7th grade, and well, in life I've always been a knucklehead, all you know. I was introduced to REACH by a friend of mine who's also been to REACH, and we graduated this year, and REACH has helped us a lot. REACH helped me just discover things. I do poetry. Now I started to get into photography. It helped me dig into music. I write music, and I'm in college now, go to Bunker Hill, studying visual design, and I want to transfer to mass art because I want to be I'm into fashion, so I just want to go deeper in that. And but it started all with REACH. If it wasn't for REACH, I don't know where I would have been because I started in 7th grade and just graduated, just went on. My brother went to REACH, and a lot of friends I have went to REACH, and I'm just appalled how like it seems like there's a limitation to the education now. It's like I haven't seen any other programs, just REACH, and the only one that's available to us is it's like we're gambling, we're fighting back, and it's like the education is being gambled with. So I'm just here to support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Okay. So my name is Thompson, and I graduated the class of 2018. and I currently live on 68 Summer Street, Malden, Massachusetts. So I started REACH when I was a freshman in high school. I would say I was following my brother's footsteps, who also went to REACH, and he went to the military right after high school. And that's the same path I'm going down, because not to the military, but like towards the SWAT team and stuff. And REACH was like my second family throughout high school. I didn't have much attention, I wouldn't say attention, but much space at home to do homework or stuff like that. So when I sat down at REACH, I played a lot. But to do homework, I didn't have time to do all of that. So at REACH, I sat down with Stephanie, and back then, Coach Jackson, he helped me a lot throughout my schoolwork. He forced me to do better than what I was doing before I met him. And thanks to the REACH group, I had the opportunity to make myself a better person, have a better future than I had before I started going there. And I know that if REACH ends, the kids that are sitting here in front of you won't have the same opportunity to have a better life or choose their pathway. They'll just follow the streets or follow their peers. But REACH keeps them out the streets and keeps them in school.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jaylee Ortiz. I live at 98 Blossom Street, and I'd like to say the Chelsea REACH program has helped me become the person I am today. From transitioning to high school, my academics and social skills, and more. I feel that the program shouldn't be taken away from future youth. Speaking as a REACH participant, I've been here since 7th grade, and now I'm a sophomore. This program has been a backbone for many youth, especially myself. REACH has helped me pass classes, improve my grades from D's and F's to being an honor roll student. This program has kept me out of trouble and out of the streets during crime time, which is when the program runs. And this program has helped me realize what I want to do for my future, and it makes me realize I don't want to be another statistic in this city, and I want to provide and be an example for future youth. It made me realize that my actions are not only going to affect me, but affect my family and everyone else around me. The program has taught me a lot, and I wrote this whole thing down expecting to talk about it, but this program has kept me off the streets so much. I could have been like someone, I probably wouldn't be a sophomore right now. I wouldn't be in high school or anything. And thank you for your time, because I'm kind of nervous.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Malcolm Ellis. I live at 45 Normandy Road, and I'm currently a senior in Chelsea High School. And I've been hearing a lot of people say that REACH is a very useful program, but I don't see REACH as a program. I look and I see straight family. I can name every single person here with me, and countless experiences of when someone needed help, and I would do anything I could for any of them. And I wrote something down, but I don't want to come up here and talk about something that wouldn't matter, or how REACH has been useful to other people, because REACH helped me in a lot of ways, and I don't think I would be the person I am without Stephanie Rodriguez. Earlier today, I went through a tough time, and she really helped me realize that I'm not alone, and I have people with me always. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Miguel Mejia, and I live on 63 Crescent Ave. And to start off, REACH is everything to me. I started as a 7th grader, went up to graduated, and went up to work at REACH. And to be honest, without REACH, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I wouldn't be in college right now if it wasn't for Kathleen Bray and Stephanie. They helped me a lot through the programs that they were. They taught me how to public speak, where I wouldn't be as nervous as I should have been before that. And to be honest, I think if you don't think as a counselor, but think as a parent yourselves, you don't want your kids to be out on the streets or living a dangerous life. You want them to be somewhere safe. And to be honest, REACH for me, that's what it was. I got introduced to REACH by a friend, And I am so happy to that friend that introduced me to Reach. And without Reach, it's like nothing. I would go home, before Reach, I would just go home at 2:30 and do nothing, go to sleep, play video games, don't do homework. And my mom would show up at 10:30 at nighttime and would go to sleep and then start all over again. But ever since Reach started and I've been to it, it's just been a second family to me. I'm so excited to have Kathleen Bray as one of my coaches that I was with. I'm glad to have Judah Jackson here with us also. He was a good coach, a good tutor as well. And to be honest, Reach is more than, if you heard all these kids, all these youth, Reach is more than just an after school program. It's more like a family to them. And I've begged you guys that if you guys just think really hard and strong, you guys can continue Reach, because we have our separate funds, so we don't need more of your funds. It's just we have our own and we can live it up. But to be honest, I agree with all these youth. If Reach is gone, then future for kids are gone, just in general. And as Kathleen said, it's more than to continue something that's already there than to start from zero. And I thank Reach for letting me be the adult that I am now. I'm glad to graduate this year from Benjamin Franklin. I am a computer technology major, and if it wasn't for Kathleen and the program that I was in, this wouldn't be possible. So just keep that in mind, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andre Griswold. I live on 307 Carter Street. I go to Chelsea High School, and I am a worker at the Reach program, and I'm here to talk about how much Reach has helped me for not only become a better person, but make new friends and have a better family. Because this place has not only changed who I am as a person, but it's helped kids who struggle through life and stuff like that. It's more than just a program that we all talk about. We're all here crying because we care about the program. We're here because we're a family. We're not doing this because we just want to. I could have been doing something else right now. This is something serious that we all how I put it, we all here together as a team. It's not just because we're here just to do it. We could have been doing something else. Everyone here crying here today is because that we all want this program to stay up. We want to be together. We want to still live as a family. We could have been doing something else on our spare time. We all do this because we care about each other. We're here because we want to have this program be up. We want our families to be better. Thanks to the job, I'm able to help my family pay money and stuff. I can help pay rent. I can help pay internet. I can help pay for my sister. My parents can be too busy to do stuff. I have this job now, so I can help her pay for stuff for my little sister. She can do her own things while I help her out. It's all because that, thanks to this program, I'm able to become a better person, bigger of a man because of that. And I appreciate that from Stephanie and Kathleen and everyone else who's came here today, just to show that we're not here alone, because we're here as a family. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Melissa Valentin. I was raised in the city of Chelsea and also worked in the city of Chelsea throughout my life. My graduating class is 2009, which 90% of the Reach were graduated class. So I am a proud group leader in the middle school girls in the 7th and 8th grade at the time. I want to share that Reach has helped me grow in many ways, not only as a group leader, but I also learned a lot about their culture backgrounds, their personalities, and the struggles that they face daily. A lot of my students develop relationship skills with adults and their peers by just being in an environment where we can all share our stories, through conversations or through journal, writing activities, learning meaningful topics such as immigration laws, sexual education, learning how to cook, or even dancing our fluff off with Zumba, which is something that the kids really enjoyed at the time. Reach has been a program that has always been needed in our community. I wish there would be more like this program that would strengthen the Reach program in my community so that our youth can have a place where they can learn life skills, get resources, tutoring, and just have someone to reach out to. They all know that they all matter and that they are loved when they come into our program. This program is exactly what our city needs so our youth can continue to grow and be productive and successful residents in our city of Chelsea. By having this experience in Reach and loving, respecting one another, we build trust, confidence, in our future leaders for our city. Thank you for my time.
Thank you.
Sure, it's 176 Broadway in Revere. Thank you.
My name is Abel Near. I live on 140 Bloomingdale Street. To be honest, I did not plan to talk today. But, this family right here, it's like inspired me so much. Like without Stephanie, I feel like I wouldn't. I feel like I wouldn't be like the person I am today. I joined Reach 7th grade, like towards the end of 7th grade year. I was like one of those quiet kids. Like, I didn't like talk. I like talking to people. But I met this family. Y'all gotta give me a second. Like, I'm a sophomore right now in high school, so like I have like 2 more years. But like, I feel like without this group, I would not be here right now. I'll probably be in the streets right now. Probably like doing something I would not be. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I probably wouldn't be alive today if I didn't join Reach. I promise you that. But like, Reach has helped me so much grow as a person. Like, I feel like I'm meant to be something in life. I wasn't born a mistake. I wasn't born to like not be on this earth. I feel like God put me on this earth to shine. And without Reach, I wouldn't be shining right now. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Mohammed. I live at 114 Carter Street in Chelsea, and I'm a product of Chelsea and Chelsea Reach. I recently got my master's in social work, and I came here when I was 7 years old from Kenya, from a refugee camp in Chelsea. And from that day forward, I've been trying to figure out and navigate this system we call America. Without Chelsea, the resources that's provided for me from kindergarten to high school, and this program that has provided me with the resources, right? This program is we're not here to save our kids. We're here to provide the resources so we can help them, guide them to who they want to be when they grow up. And that's what the Breach has done for me. And I come back here, it breaks my heart that we're right here talking about phasing out Reach. What are we doing in the city? What are we doing as a city? This is our future. And we're over here taking away something that's working to do what? Right? This is our future. And every day, I'm a social worker for a reason. I'm a social worker for a reason because growing up, I had Reach. I had Kathleen. I had people that believed in me. That's helped me become the man I am today. I'm a counselor at Cambridge Ridge Line High School. Why am I there when I was supposed to be at Chelsea High School? Right? I applied to the Chelsea High School as a social worker with my master's and didn't get an interview. But 10 schools from Boston gave me an interview. A man that grew up in Chelsea, went to all the schools in Chelsea, high school, went to undergrad and graduate, came back to the city to come back here as a group leader. And it's not about me anymore. It's about our youth. And if we don't see that, the impact that has, it's not about the intent, it's about the impact. And these young men, these queens and kings, these scholars, I say scholars because these are scholars. And if we don't provide these resources to support our youth, what are we doing? What is our job? Every day we wake up to do what? To support our youth, to support our family, so they can have the best chance of what? Of figuring out who they're trying to be as a young man, as a young queen. And it breaks my heart that I'm here today and they're over here sitting down when we should be supporting them. How can we expand reach? How can we do that? How can we bring more programs in Chelsea so we can support our youth, so they can graduate and fulfill those dreams that they have? How can I look at that if we're cutting something that can support them and helping them get to that? My name is Mr. Mohammed. This is my family. It will always be my family. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, Dan Cortell, 100 Captains Row. I am a former city councilor. I'm a member of the REACH POC, and I have been for 10 years or so. I didn't plan on talking tonight. There's absolutely nothing I could say that's more compelling than what these kids are saying. What I do want to say is I do believe that school committee is supportive of REACH, and I'm looking forward to an opportunity to, through the school committee and through superintendent, have conversation about what we can do to make sure that there is still a REACH for kids who aren't in this room, who are in 6th grade right now, 7th grade. It's critically important, and what compelled me to speak is just to say this. Everything you hear in this room is everything we hear all the time, at every POC meeting, at every graduation. I'm not a member of City Council anymore, but I'm still a member of the POC. Because when you hear these stories, you got to stay involved. These kids need advocates, and what you hear about the REACH program that other programs in the school system don't have is the emotional support, the Stephanie, before there was Stephanie, there was Kathleen. Anything you hear about Stephanie or Kathleen, you could say about Linda. And that's the thing that differentiates this program from others. And being school committee members is difficult. Where to spend money is a tough decision. Being superintendent in a school system, in an inner city school system like Chelsea is difficult. I don't envy anybody's position in difficult decisions to get made. This is not broken, and it serves a very important contingent of Chelsea's community, and it's literally the least we can do to make sure it keeps going. It's a little bit embarrassing if I were to say that what it costs to run this program, because it's incredibly short money to keep kids off the streets, doing what they're supposed to do, and turning into the people these kids are. And there's been, class after class of it. So I appreciate the support that I believe we have at school committee, and I look forward to a conversation as the school year moves on. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Put Pon. I'm from Family and Children's Service in Lynn. The address is 111 North Common Street. And I'm here today. Well, first off, I gotta say, I gotta tip my hats off to all of these kids here. They're so brave. It's so hard for them to come here and stand up in front of all of you guys and be brave and tell their story and get emotional and just, be transparent with you guys, because this program matters to them. And I tip my hat off to Kathleen and Stephanie, because they bring in partnerships like us from Lynn to provide these kids with quality programming where they can have sexual health education, where they can have financial literacy, where they can have healthy relationship lessons. And we come in and we partner with them. And they've been doing such a good job with these kids. And honestly, I just tip my hats off to these kids. But I want you guys to really think about it. The school to prison pipeline is real. These kids have nowhere to go. That's their safe place. That's their safe haven. They go home to nothing. They eat there. They break bread together over there. That's their community. That's their family. And you guys are going to think about taking that away from them? Where are they going to be at? We need your support. We need to stand up for all our youth that's leading our community. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Buenas noches, good evening. My name is Jose Agustin Iraeta Saldaña, or Jose Iraeta, at 73 Essex Street. And I found out about this activity just a few hours ago. And that was very surprising to me, just because through my work, I have the privilege to work with many community organizations here in Chelsea. And my work focuses on increasing safety and the perception of safety in our community. And one of the things that we know as a community that multiple community partners have identified as one of the drivers of crimes is the lack of youth opportunities in our community. And I see a trend in our community. Citizen schools is no more. That support after school for middle school age students is gone. And you guys are in a very tough position. You're trying to do what's best for the entire school district. But what I can tell you is that what you're seeing here, these kids are engaging civically and taking pride in what they're doing in our school system. This is what the entire purpose of education in the public school system is, to create good citizens at the end of the day that are prepared for the future. We heard from somebody that is getting their master's degree in social work? Yeah, so that's a testament that this program does work. And thank you guys so much for coming out. Reach, to me and in my work with multiple community stakeholders, means that we have the voice of students, of youth, that is so key and so crucial in order for us to guide our decisions. And this is people that have intentionality and that have been mentored and coached and that can engage in a meaningful way and take pride in their community and in what they do. So just for me, in the work that I do, reach means a lot. Losing reach would be a really big blow to the fabric of our social community. So I really want to thank you guys for being here tonight and for the impact that you guys are doing every day. So thank you, and I know it's a really tough decision, but please reconsider.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Leilani Marskowski. My address is 866 Huntington Ave in Boston. I'm here today representing Green Roots. I'm the youth coordinator there. I'm going to keep it pretty short. I think we heard a lot of really, really, really powerful and vulnerable stories from our young people here today, and I want to applaud all of you because I know it's not easy. And just like Jose said, when we talk about what kind of young people do we want to see and what do we want our young people to become, this is it. Most people, most adults don't advocate for what they believe in. And I want to say, I've also found out about this, I think 2 days ago, reaching out to Stephanie, looking to collaborate with Reach, because I heard about this program from Kathleen. And then I was like, I know Kathleen who moved, and I wanted to reach out and say, who's with Reach now, and keep working with this great group. And I was shocked to find out that we're looking at phasing this out. As a youth organizer who works with other youth, we're looking for youth to work with, to partner with, who have integrity, who have the strength to go out and talk to adults, to be vulnerable, to share their experiences, who are committed to their community. And to see a program like that get lost really, really concerns me, because I know in my conversations with youth and in my conversations with parents, the areas where we're seeing our youth not cared for in the city is as adolescents, as teens. And we need to increase programming for our teenagers. So I know that it's a tough decision, and I really want us to really try to come together to create a solution, because no one should have to be afraid or scared of losing their family. You know, I was just at a training that Cambridge Health Alliance put on youth mental health first aid, and the difference between a young person being here and a young person not being here is a deep relationship. And what you're seeing here is deep relationships. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to address the school committee?
My name is Leo Robinson. I'll disclose that I'm the husband of Linda Alioto Robinson. I've been around the program since it started. I've been an unofficial mentor to most of these kids who are here. Had to deal with some of the toughest kids in our community who are sitting out here and who have turned their life around being affiliated with REACH. I see Mohammed, who grew up in Chelsea and who went on, got his master's, wanted to come back here and teach in Chelsea and didn't have the opportunity to look at Coach Jackson and the effect that he has on these young people here at Chelsea High School. Another person who was affiliated with the REACH program, Stanley, who's actually the guidance teacher over at Everett High School and the head basketball coach at Everett High School. So you could see the benefits that these young people are getting by the people who they surround themselves with. And I think it's an honor for them to be here to address the school committee. And I'm sure it's not easy for them to get up here and speak. But I've been around the program since the beginning, and it's unfortunate that some of you have not been able to attend the graduation dinners that REACH has done. Because if you did, you would have a different perspective of what the REACH program is. And I just want to thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else would like to make a comment? Okay, seeing that there isn't anybody else, the public comment section is closed, and we'll be moving along to the report of the superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would ask that Assistant Superintendent Sarah Kent come forward for the student achievement report.
Good evening. Tonight we're going to be looking at the indicators of success for Chelsea Public Schools for October. You also may have received a copy of September as well, in that last month there was a full agenda and we did not get to the September ones. I'm going to speak to October because most of it is cumulative. If you do have any questions about September as well, I'm happy to answer them. If we could, this month we're going to talk about the monthly indicators as well as the appendix. Quarterly grades just closed, and the report cards will be coming out later this week, but we're not ready to report on them. I'll have them in December for you. Okay, if you could start on page 3 about our attendance. Our goal for attendance district-wide is 95%, and you can see that grades K through 8 are meeting that goal. We're still striving to improve attendance in the upper grades. On page 5, you can see that we have 281 students enrolled in AP courses this year, which is a few more than last year. Not many, but a slight increase. If you could turn to page 6, you'll see on indicator at 8, looking at dropout, you'll see that we have 9 more students that have dropped out this month from last month. And overall, we have 7 more than last year at this time. However, only one of those is new in that that gap was created last month. When you look at the 9 students that have dropped out, or the 20 that have dropped out overall in the chart on the bottom of the page, you can see that a vast majority of our dropouts, almost 75%, are from our L students. And the details on the next page can show you that of those 9 students, 6 were L's this month and 3 were in our regular education program. And they came from grades 10, 11, and 12, with a majority being in grade 12 this year. On page 9 is our mobility. And for October, if you look at all the way to the right, you see that there are the number of students that have come in or out of Chelsea this month, and you can see that in both at the ELC, we've gained 18. I mean, we had 31 come in and 13 go out, but a net gain of 18. Whereas in the elementary, we've gained 66. In the middle schools, we've gained 38. And in the high school, we've gained 82 for a total gain of 184 students, which is a dramatic increase. On the final page, we will be, as I said at the beginning, I will be reporting on those quarter one grades next month. I would be happy to answer any questions anybody had.
Yeah, on the grade 12, the 5 that dropped out, do we know, are they not making the credits? Were they at risk of not graduating?
So they are mostly L students who have been dropping out. I don't have the details on every student, but you can see from the details on page 7 that 8 of them have plans unknown. That generally means that we were unable to contact them or talk to them about why they were leaving. One moved to an adult education program. The others, we're unable to determine.
So that is many times the student mobility issue. Many times when we're unable to contact students, they've moved out of the district and have not let us know.
Okay, so I know you've told me before, but what's the timeline? How long are they out before we say they're a dropout? So they're gone a month?
15-day disenrollment takes place, 15 school days, and then they automatically get counted as a dropout, even though we can't connect with them. So.
Okay. Are there any other question for Mrs. Kent? Mr. DePato?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Do we know why there was such an impact of students entering Chelsea High School? What was that brought on by? Do we have any idea?
We do not, but I can say that a lot of them are entering our bridge program.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Kent.
Madam Chair, moving on, I am commending to the report enclosure B, which is the personnel update. You will note that there were 20 new hires this month, 10 resignations, retirements, terminations, 4 promotions, transfers. Enclosure C, I am commending to the report, 6,316 in-district students, 175 out-of-district students. Ladies and gentlemen, you might want to stay for 5 minutes. Thank you. For a total of 6,491. Under communications, I do want to let you know that you have before you the November 1st annual report. It was sent to you October 31st digitally by email, but this is the hard copy for this year. That is a Mass General Law requirement that you receive the annual report every year on November 1st, always with the caveat that we are able to get the data and the information from the municipal side in a timely fashion as well. So you do have that. And then important dates coming up in November. We don't have a big list for you, but November 14th tonight, November 15th tomorrow night, and then November 16th Friday night, Chelsea High School play, the Laramie Project, and each night it is beginning at 7 p.m. November 19th, the in-person morning workshop at the Collaborative will take place at 10 a.m. November 20th, the Wright Science and Technology Academy, the school site council meeting will be at 9 a.m. and the in-person evening workshop at Chelsea High School, 6 p.m. November 21st, Clark Avenue Middle School school site council meeting and parent coffee hour at 8:30. And of course, November 27th to the 29th, there is no school, it's Thanksgiving break. We do not have school on the Wednesday before. And of course, then there's the Thanksgiving football game. So all of those will be on the, if they're probably there already, the website. So, Madam Chair, I am the exiting superintendent. I will be leaving December 31st, so I am going to ask for the privilege of making comments to my students, my Chelsea High School students sitting in front of me, both current, former, and future. Thank you. So I'm addressing the issue that has been brought forward in terms of the REACH program. First of all, I want to commend all of you that spoke tonight, and I am extremely impressed with your public speaking skills, but also to the confidence in terms of coming forward and advocating. Many of you actually also helped us advocate to the state last year. We advocated to the state because public schools, in particular gateway cities, urban school districts like Chelsea, are millions upon millions of dollars underfunded. As of 2017, we were actually $17 million underfunded. What we could do with that money. We have been going through 5 consecutive years of severe budget cuts. Programs, as you heard, Citizen School is only one of them, but programs have been cut. We have also cut staff at times and other services for our students. We have tried very hard to do it in a very strategic way so that our students were not harmed. But ultimately, any urban school district is going to be harmed when the budget cuts continue. By fiscal 19, we're in fiscal 20, so this was last year, we did ask that the director at the time, Linda Alioto Robinson, and her staff come up with a 3-year phase-out plan, because we had, up until that point, been able to hold harmless the REACH program from any of the cuts. The 3-year phase-out plan was developed by the staff and submitted to us, and we approved it. Right now, we are in year 2 of the phase-out plan. The reason for the phase-out? We did not want to penalize any of the students who are currently enrolled in the REACH program. So strategically, we decided we won't put any new students in, and we will make sure that the funds are there for all students to get to graduation. It would be phased out by June 2021, according to the plan. Now let's fast forward. You have all heard that there is legislation at the State House, and the legislation is to fix the severe budget underfunding in school districts across the state, but most particularly in school districts such as Chelsea that are urban and are severely struggling with their budgets year in and year out. We do not have the money yet, and the legislation is called the Student Opportunity Act. It is not here yet. The status of it at this point is that both the House and the Senate are working in conference committee to work out their disagreements, and ultimately, we're hoping it makes its way to the governor's desk. Ideally, I would love it for Thanksgiving, so we can all be extremely grateful. We are waiting for the Student Opportunity Act. You will see it as the acronym SOA. I want to, however, quell our expectations and remind the school committee of the need of fiscal prudence. You must continue to be the advocates for social justice and equity in all that you do and all that you vote on. I say this because any new money will be each and every year subject to state revenues and state-level appropriations. For example, our charter reimbursement this year was only funded at 52%, so you will have to keep an eye on this. You're going to need to watch Chapter 70 and advocate when necessary. We also don't know yet the accurate methodology that will be used for counting our low-income students, and that an accurate methodology means millions of dollars to our school district. So you need to advocate and pay attention to that as I move on. Currently, the school department, due to inflation, contract obligations, health care, and all increased costs, needs an additional $3.5 to $4 million each year just to break even. We still don't know what the Student Opportunity Act will give us. It needs to be signed by the governor, and then we need to see what the governor actually gives us in percentages, which won't happen until the third Thursday in January. So we don't know what the money will be until then. So let's turn to REACH moving forward. I endorse and support REACH, and I always have. Matter of fact, I held REACH harmless for many years before I ended up having to ask for cuts, while I made cuts throughout the rest of the district. In fact, as assistant superintendent, I represented the school department on the 2-year community planning, and it was 2 years of community planning, with the Smith Foundation that created the REACH program. And I subsequently hired Linda Aliotta Robinson as the director. We currently supplement to about 65% the salary of the site coordinator and the part-time clerk. Everything else is grant funded. There are many parts of the program of REACH that we need to retain that work extremely well. And they are the ones that promote student engagement, public speaking, homework help, mentoring, leadership development. And these are only to name a few of the core pieces of REACH that need to be retained. There will be many grants coming out of DESE with the Student Opportunity Act in the next few months. Many, many grants. One of them, the Kaleidoscope, we just submitted today. The area of grants is going to balloon over the next year and for the foreseeable years ahead. I have already suggested to Superintendent Almia Beta that she hire a full-time grant writer. With the grants, however, come new requirements, and DESE is looking for new models of student programming to fund. They want to see computer science, digital literacy, career training, to name only a few. REACH is extremely well positioned to go for these grants in order to sustain them. To qualify for the funds, we should look to reimagining a new REACH, REACH 2.0. The program aligns with it will need to align with what DESE is looking for in these new grants. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote my remarks far before I even knew you were arriving. The model of REACH was planned in 2008, 2009. It hasn't been looked at since. It's time to look at it. There's no harm in that. The model should be reimagined, and it needs to align with what DESE is looking for. That way you continue to receive the grants. My recommendation to Dr. Abeda, as she takes over from me on January 1st, would be to do the following. Convene a district team under the direction of Assistant Superintendent Adam Delady, because REACH falls under Adam Delady now. He should lead a strategic planning during the spring 2020 semester, ready to reimagine for the following year. I recommend that the new and reimagined REACH be funded from some of the multitude of grants that DESE is going to be releasing. And with that, I close my remarks, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Burke. Mr. DePato?
So we had one member of REACH come up after another, and I think I heard from several of the speakers that they didn't need any funding. Now, I don't know too much about this, but I would like to investigate it like all the other members of the school board. I'm sure every member of the school board here has some interaction with REACH during their years. So is this a fallacy that REACH doesn't need any, they have their own money?
REACH is funded by three grants. Monica, you correct me if I'm wrong. But there is some funds that come from a small amount. It's a supplemental for 2 salaries, and it comes from our Chapter 70. Keeping in mind, as the other cuts have been going through the years, we also funded the prior director, et cetera. So we've always given some amount of our funds to REACH, even though they have been predominantly funded under the grants.
So I guess the other question that I'd like to not raise, but talk about is that REACH has been in existence for about 10 years. And I know that as many as 500 students came through those doors, and I know 90% of those kids earned credits to graduate. And what we did is we gave those REACH kids' parents an opportunity to work and to keep their kids off the street and out of trouble. And I think a program like that should be looked into to be continued on. It's a worthwhile program for Chelsea, for the Chelsea Public Schools.
Well, then you're in agreement with what I just said.
Yes, I am in
Thank you.
agreement, but I'd like to see some action done with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Normally, we don't talk back when they come for public comment. I just let the superintendent. So is this a question to the superintendent about the program? No?
To everyone who's here. I hear you, I see you, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Doctor, yeah. Is this a question for the superintendent? Okay.
Dr. Bork, if you can tell us before you leave the comparison between the Citizen School and the REACH program. REACH doesn't need funding from us, but you said they get some funding from us. What was the results for the Citizen School? How effective was the Citizen School compared to REACH?
It would depend on what benchmarks you were looking at. In terms of relationship building, student outcomes did improve, not to where we wanted them. Definitely they had leadership. They had mentoring from downtown Boston, a lot of the high firms. They had the key components. I think the difference for me is I think REACH wraps around the kids stronger and better than a Citizen Schools did. And I'm not criticizing the program completely, but we need programs at all, like this at all levels, to be honest. But we need the key core pieces of it. Yeah.
Another question, if REACH is being gone, removed, and the Citizen School is gone, what would be in its place to equal to both of those programs?
So we have actually at the policies and procedures, we actually discussed that tonight. And so that will be, you know, when you go into that and you look at it, I think if you turn into the 3rd page, it shows all the after-school programming that we have in the entire district, and it's by grade range, as well as the difference is that we're able, those programs, we are able to fund through mostly our Title I and our Title IV federal grants.
Okay, thank you.
And Title III a little bit.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Albeida, you have a report for us?
Good evening, Superintendent Bork, School Committee Chair Velez. Thank you. My report will be pithy, but exciting at the same time. Every time I come up here, I say how proud I am to be in Chelsea, and I feel so grateful. It's been a wonderful 3 months. I've been here 92 days. I'm wrapping up my listening and learning phase of my entry. I have conducted one-to-one meetings with 52 individuals, 4 group sessions, 4 community conversations that engage staff, community, and partners. I have visited all the schools and continue to visit schools, and I have analyzed a lot of data and reports and read through a lot of reports. In this process, I have learned a lot about Chelsea Public Schools. So this part of my entry plan, the listening and the learning, is complete. In this process, I plan to analyze all the information and synthesize all the information with Cabinet so that I can present an entry report to you soon. So I plan on getting that out and probably January when I start. So, and that report will help guide us during the budget session, but at the same time, we already have because I'm fortunate, we already have a strategic plan in place. That entry report is going to complement the current strategic plan. So I look forward to working with Cabinet to analyze and synthesize all the information that I have been collecting, and I will get a report out to you soon. So thank you.
Thank you. Moving along to committee reports, Budget and Finance, Enclosure D. The Budget and Finance Subcommittee met October 24th. In attendance was Lucia Enriquez, myself, Rosemary Carlisle, Henry Wilson, Ana Hernandez, Superintendent-elect Almia Beta, Assistant Superintendent Mr. Delady, and District Interim Assistant for Student Support, Monica Lamboy. The meeting started at 5:36. There were several items on the agenda to accept private grants for the school year 2019-2020, which we'll be voting on later on today. From Mondale's International, Nabisco Products for the Hook School, $400. Arbella Insurance Foundation, also for the Hook School, $400. The Boston Foundation, Hildreth Stewart Fund for the COA for $25,000. Motion was made by Ms. Garcia and moved forward for approval of the school committee tonight. We also talk about back-to-school celebration gifts in the amount of $1,500 they received in cash donations, and $5,765 in donations of food and other items, considering an action to approve the use of $2,600 from the gift account for the purpose of funding the school year 2019-2020 back-to-school celebration. Ms. Hernandez made the motion to move forward to the school committee for a vote. And also, consideration and action to approve and amend easement to grant Power Option Select access to the school roof in order to provide required maintenance to the solar panel system and authorize the superintendent to execute any and all documents associated with the easement to Power Option Select. Ms. Garcia made the motion to move forward to the full school committee. Budget transfers were reviewed and meeting adjourned at 5:56 p.m. Do we have a motion to accept the Budget and Finance Subcommittee minutes? Any objections? No. Motion passed. Unfinished business, none. Moving on to new business. Ms. Enrique moves to accept the awarded allocations for the below-listed private grants for the school year 2019-2020. Mondale's International Nabisco Products for the Hook School, $400. Arbella Insurance Foundation for the Hook School, $400. And the Boston Foundation Hildreth Stewart Fund for the Chelsea Opportunity Academy, $25,000. The funds from Nabisco Products and Arbella Insurance are for student trips at the Hook School and will be deposited into the student activity account for the school. Funding from the Hildreth Stewart Fund is to support programming at Chelsea Opportunity Academy. Under Mass General Laws, Chapter 71, Section 37A provides for the acceptance of grants for educational purposes only with the approval of the Chelsea School Committee. Roll call.
On the motion to approve private grants totaling $25,800 for the 2019-2020 school year, Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Alfaro?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Carlisle?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Velez?
Yes.
That's 6 in the affirmative and 3 absent. The motion carries.
6 affirmative, 3 absent, motion passes. Ms. Enrique moves to accept gifts for back-to-school celebration, consideration and action to accept $1,500 in cash donations for the annual back-to-school celebration and approximately $5,765 in donations of food and other items. In consideration and action to approve the use of $2,600 from the gift account for the purpose of funding the school year 2019-2020 back-to-school celebration. Explanation: a number of individuals and companies donated generously to Chelsea schools in support of this year's back-to-school celebration. Each year, these funds are accepted by the school committee and deposited into the gift account. School committee approval is needed to authorize the use of up to $2,600 from the gift account for expenses for the event. Roll call.
On the motion to accept $1,500 in cash donations and approximately $5,765 in donations of food and other items for the annual back-to-school celebration, and to approve the use of $2,600 from the gift account for the purpose of funding the 2019-2020 back-to-school celebration. Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Alfaro?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Carlisle?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Santiago? Ms. Velez?
Yes.
Mr. DePato?
Yes.
That's 8 in the affirmative and 1 absent.
8 in the affirmative, 1 absent, motion passes. Ms. Enrique moves to approve a resolution and amended easement of grant power options select access to the school roof of Clark Avenue Middle School in order to provide required maintenance to the solar panel system and authorize the superintendent to execute any and all documents associated with the easement power option select. Explanation. In May 2018, the school committee granted an easement to Power Option Select to access the school roof of the Clark Avenue Middle School so the company could access the roof and maintain the solar panels. The city solicitor has asked the school committee to approve an update easement that has been amended to authorize the superintendent to sign all documents. Roll call.
On the motion to approve a resolution and an amended easement to grant Power Option Select access to the school roof at Clark Avenue Middle School in order to provide required maintenance to the solar panel system and authorize the superintendent to execute any and all documents associated with the easement to Power Option Select. Ms. Hernandez? Yes. Ms. Alfaro? Yes. Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Santiago?
Yes.
Ms. Velez?
Yes.
Mr. DePato?
Yes.
That's 7 in the affirmative and 2 absent.
7 in the affirmative, 2 absent, motion passes. Consideration and action to authorize the district to enter into a lease agreement of up to 10 years with a property owner for lease space for facilities department offices. The existing lease for the facilities department at 4R Garrish Ave was authorized nearly 5 years ago for a 5-year term, and district staff must prepare a new request for proposals to identify a lease space for the department going forward. A period of 10 years is requested to be able to forecast the lease cost over the long term and provide stability to the department in terms of where it will be located. School committee approval is required prior to advertising a RFP for a lease for more than 3 years in length. Roll call.
On the motion to authorize the district to enter into a lease agreement of up to 10 years with the property owner for lease space for facilities department offices. Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Alfaro?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Santiago?
Yes, sorry. I'm just making sure I process the question correctly. And I don't know if I can ask for clarification.
Okay. Monica, do you want to explain?
Did you have a specific question?
Yeah, I guess I was sharing with the committee, another committee member that obviously tried to review the agenda beforehand to make sure I have thorough understanding and come prepared. I heard that there's like an RFP RFP process, request for proposal, acronyms. Did I understand that's already been done and we're just extending into a 10-year, or are we voting on approving that the process, like, that
So,
we have like a
We're
bidding
voting,
process
they're
for
already
facilities?
there. Our facilities department is in that space.
Buildings and grounds.
Yeah, so we're just voting so they could
Continue.
extend, because
Right.
then it's more stability for them instead of us trying to keep moving.
Madam
around the
Chair and members of the
Oops, sorry.
school committee, I'm Monica Lamboy, Director of Administration and Finance. Per state law, we have to go and solicit proposals for lease space. We are not actually able to extend the lease that we're in. So the agreement that was signed was for 5 years. When that's over, we do not have any ability to extend that. So we're going to go out for request to proposals, which means any property owner in Chelsea will be able to tell us what space they might have available that meets our needs. We'll define what our needs are. Hopefully the current property owner will also put their property in to that proposal, but we do have to open it up for general submissions.
Got it, totally helpful.
And we wanted to go for a longer time period because 5 years does pass remarkably quickly.
That explanation was actually super helpful, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And just for future, yeah, if we're in the middle of the vote, we just have to finish the vote and then you will get the explanation, but, so we can, yeah, let's redo the vote, yes, please.
Thank you.
On the motion to authorize the district to enter into a lease agreement of up to 10 years with the property owner for lease space for facilities department offices, Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Alfaro?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Carlisle?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Santiago?
Yes.
Ms. Velez?
Yes.
Mr. DePato?
Yes.
That's 8 in the affirmative and 1 absent.
8 in the affirmative, 1 absent, motion passes. Next, consideration and action to authorize the district to enter into a lease agreement of up to 10 years with a property owner for lease space for Chelsea Opportunity Academy and the Intergenerational Literacy Project. The school committee has authorized funding in the current year budget for a lease and tenant improvement for the relocation of Chelsea Opportunity Academy and the Intergenerational Literacy Project. District staff must prepare requests for proposals to identify a lease space for the school and program. A period of 10 years is requested to be able to forecast the lease costs over the long term and provide stability to the school and the program in terms of where they will be located. School committee approval is required prior to advertising a RFP for a lease for more than 3 years in length. Roll call.
On the motion to authorize the district to enter into a lease agreement of up to 10 years with the property owner for lease space for Chelsea Opportunity Academy and the Intergenerational Literacy Program, Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Alfaro?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Carlisle?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia?
Yes.
Ms. Santiago?
Yes.
Ms. Velez?
Yes.
Mr. DePato?
Yes.
That's 8 in the affirmative and 1 absent. The
8
motion
in the
carries.
affirmative, 1 absent, motion passes. Next, communications, we don't have any. We move on to announcements. Our door must remain open. I just want to say that the door needs to stay open during our meetings. Okay, well, we're almost done. So Ms. Enriquez is not here today. She asked me to excuse her. Her daughter had her first grandchild, so she's very excited, and she's there. Actually, she had to go to Pennsylvania, so that's why she is not there. Are there any closing remarks any of the school committee members would like to share? Ms. Garcia?
I have a quick, just a quick announcement to the members of the school committee. For the next policy and procedures meeting, I will be proposing that we change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. And I've written a piece on the newspaper if you want to find out more. And I will go into great detail during our policy and procedures meeting. So look forward to that.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, if I could just, because it relates to Kelly's comments, it also we are going to have to change the date of the next policy and procedures, so we will be sending out an email to change that date.
Okay. Any other comments? Ms. Santiago?
I know that the majority of the students are gone. Hopefully, if there's anybody watching or can pass the message, but just really grateful for the organizing that allowed them to come here tonight, and the staff and their labor. It's very moving to hear their stories. I know that we all feel, really proud about the work that's happened in REACH collectively. I was hearing particularly one of the students share an experience about, leaving high school and going on to Northeast, and those are often stories, and we connect that with statistics, and there's different opinions and perspectives about that. But I just wanted to let all students in the city know that irrespective of your path, as long as you have the space to continue on your path, that is a really great job. And that, I look forward to hearing more about REACH, and I think all of us really want to be supportive of that space and the students. And I appreciate Dr. Burke for all her work there, and the school committee for, supporting the program currently to be still a thing for our students and still present in our high school. So just wanted to say thank you, and to everybody that's supported those students, and to Mr. Robinson about the graduation. I look forward to attending more. There's really powerful stories, and so thank you all for sharing that.
Thank you. Mr. Wilson?
Kind of passionate about REACH. I mean, I had a REACH student, I was 2013, and still involved this young man from this day. Thank the students, thank the parents for coming out, everyone at home watching today, especially thank the leaders out there in REACH program, Mrs. Robinson and Kathleen and Stephanie and the rest of the crew out there who's doing a great job and been doing a great job since I've been there for 2013. I also had the pleasure of going to a couple of the dinner graduation events that REACH had, and each year that I've been there, just to see the video of the progress that the kids have been doing over the years is remarkable. But when I see what I saw today as a school committee member, not as a resident, I see the passion, I see the fire of these young kids out here doing things that they're fighting for each and every day. And it reminds me of what happened a few years ago when the class of 2019 was able to have a graduation outside in the field. That too took students to get up in front of us, in front of the school committee and city councilors, and fight for what they want, what they deserve, opportunity to do something. When the student was talking, I wrote the word REACH, R-E-A-C-H, down in a letter. And each letter represents something to me from these students speaking. The R represents resourceful. The E, educate. The A was advocate. The C was challenge. And the H, they kept bringing back the word family. So it brings back home to me. So maybe I'm biased, maybe whatever you want to use this terminology to describe me for the passion that I have for REACH, but I've seen some amazing young people come out of that program. And now I was at the high school today, and I saw some other young kids there that was there when I was with the 12th grader. Now they're in the sophomores in junior high school right now at the high school, and they're still through the program. So it's a remarkable program, it's a positive program, and I just want to just thank everybody who's involved, who will make the decision making that can help us out. Because the fund is from grants, it's not all from the city. So, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Carlisle?
I wasn't going to say anything, but tonight was a very emotional night for me, because what I saw is emotion coming from the students in the REACH program. And that tells you a lot about these students, that they have emotion, they have feelings, and they have the best interest of this program, the REACH program. Thanks to Linda, thanks to Stephanie, Kathy, all you people. Leo, you backed them up from the start, I know you have. And Dan, I know you've been there for these students. I want to thank you too. And Joe, thank you all for being there for these kids. But I truly believe we need this program in the city of Chelsea. We cannot let these students come up here and tell us how they feel about something is so important in their life. And like Henry said, it's family. These kids need this outside the home to keep them going. And to see some of them to come up here and see how well they did from the REACH program. We all need to make sure that we fight to make sure this program comes back and stays in the city of Chelsea. So I was very proud of these students. Like Henry said, too, the students that came out and fought for what they wanted for the outside graduation. These kids are fighting for the rest of their life and to have something in their life, and we need to keep that REACH program going.
Ms. Jess Alfaro.
Just wanted to acknowledge the, brave that they were sharing with us, all of their, feelings and what REACH means to them. But I will say also that when we were doing that social capital campaign that Kathleen Bray mentioned, it was one of the needs not only for REACH. There is more than a REACH program that is needed in Chelsea, because kids in Chelsea needs programs for kids. According to that research that we did close to 13 years now, it was program for children on the ages of 11 through 15, because that's the ages when all of the after-school program are, no longer available for them. And this idea of REACH grew up. I remember that we were having several meetings with different funders. Mary was from day one, and it was, grateful when they opened the house in the schools of Chelsea, and hoping and taking the recommendations based on you recommending, Mary, REACH to be overseen. I totally agree. It needs to be revisited, because there might be different aspects of the program that needs to be reinvented so that we can extend more benefits. As what they were saying, there is more need of more Catherines, more Stephanies, more Tanias, but not only for the kids that are successfully graduating, but to see if we can also get this program for other kids in the city of Chelsea. So I just wanted to say that my heart was crying with them, because I'm a mother of 4, and 2 of my kids benefited from REACH. I was also on the POC for several years. Mary was there too. And due to, prior commitments, I had to renounce the POC, but still in my heart. And I just wanted to let everybody in the city know that we are all REACH. Everybody, each one of you have REACH in your heart, because these kids, what they were asking for is love, understanding, compassion, because they don't feel that there is that many resources in our city, and I think we all own it to these kids. And that's why I feel that we still have time to revisit REACH. 2021 is far along, still a lot of time. And Mary, you gave some recommendation of funding that they can be eligible for, so I hope that they also revisit that, and I'm looking forward to continue to, see if we can extend that program. Thank you.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion. Thank you. Meeting adjourned. School committee, don't leave, you gotta take photos.